today to acknowledge this important moment for you, your class, your families, our country, and indeed the world. Today, you're finishing an important leg of your own personal journey. You're at the very border of a transformation, full of great promise, but facing real uncertainty. And you've reached that border in a time when our country and the very global order which you studied here are themselves at a moment of great transition, the magnitude of which we have not seen for generations. You will look back at this moment as one that defined you, and the world will certainly look back at this moment as one that shaped a whole new era. I don't know if you remember, but when you arrived at this school, I told you that at SFS, you'd be getting a front row seat to history. I meant that you'd not only be studying the people, the decisions, and the forces that shaped our world, but that you'd be in the mix yourselves. You'd get up close and personal with the people engaged in those decisions, and the cities where all the forces come together. Who could have imagined then what a history you'd be confronted with today? That front row seat of this very campus was abruptly pulled out from all of us these last few weeks. And I'm sure it made you realize, as it had me, what a precious thing it really was. But though we lost those last few weeks of your senior year together, we can still celebrate the years we spent on this campus in that front row seat. Just think of all the things we shared. We were here for a presidential election that reshaped America and its role in the world. We were here for a Million Woman March that demonstrated the power of collective action. We sat in Gaston Hall and heard from presidents, secretaries of state, ministers, legislators, ambassadors. We engaged with the presidential candidates in the climate forum. We came together in solidarity with our DACA students. We honored the public servants who dedicated their lives to making change. We celebrated our own diversity and unity as we cheered for the hundreds of you that participated in Rangila. And we marked the centennial of our great school by celebrating the generations of SFS alumni who have made such a profound impact on the world through their service. But beyond those big moments, I'll remember the smaller moments. When we sat together over coffee and muffins in my office, or dinner in this living room, to chat with extraordinary SFS alumni, like the General Counsel of SpaceX, the COO of the CIA, foreign correspondents from CNN, NPR, Politico, a filmmaker documenting the plight of Syria's refugees, the head of Facebook's global crisis response team, or the 35-year-old founder of a new billion-dollar firm using AI to reshape the global security landscape. We got a chance to really get to know the alumni who have demonstrated leadership and service to the world, to hear their stories, to find out what makes them tick, and to understand how they made use of their time at SFS and beyond. Today, you join the ranks of those alumni. And like them, I know we can expect great things from you. And while this is true for every graduating class of SFS, I do believe that this class, the 100th class of students to graduate from this school, is truly distinctive. This is a class that knows what it means to sacrifice your own well-being to protect the most vulnerable among us. This is a class that has felt most viscerally how global problems can upend our lives and those we love. This is a class that has seen how America, with all its wealth and power, is as vulnerable as any country in the world to global problems. This is a class that has been reminded yet again of the many inequalities among us and how those inequalities shape our capacity to respond to global risks. And this is a class that has seen the critical value of true expertise, marshaling knowledge, analysis, and evidence to inform tough decisions that impact all of our lives. And because your class has not only studied these issues, but lived through their consequences, more is expected of you. This class will be called to serve in many, many different capacities. My hope is that the front row seat to history that you had here at SFS has prepared you to lead, has inspired you to innovate, has humbled you in the face of the magnitude of the challenges we are facing, and has made you aware of our collective responsibility to work across boundaries across disciplines, boundaries across countries, boundaries across backgrounds and circumstances, and the boundaries we impose on others through partisanship and political division. So today, we mark your transition to the next stage of your lives by celebrating the time you spent here, sharing some of your favorite SFS moments, recognizing academic excellence, but even more importantly, acknowledging the incredible resilience of this extraordinary class. And what better way to get this started than by turning to one of your favorite professors, Professor Elizabeth Grimm Arsenault. I've seen myself how she inspires audiences with her knowledge and magnetism, and even more importantly, how she draws the best out of the people in her classes. So please welcome Professor Grimm Arsenault. Thank you, congratulations.
Hello, I am honored and humbled to receive the SFS Faculty of the Year Award this year. I'd like to thank the staff and the faculty who worked tirelessly over the last 2 months to build new kinds of connections between you, your classmates, and Georgetown, and to minimize the disruption of this strange time. I want to recognize you all, the SFS graduates. Georgetown is a better place because you have been here. You've given us your voices, your thoughts, your visions. You have made teaching a joy. I have strong connections to the class of 2020. Some of you I met before you'd even started at Georgetown, and you came here for a summer IR camp, or I met you and your families during Gap Weekend. Some of you took a class with me, like Intro to International Relations, or Intelligence, or International Law. Some of you lived alongside me and my family in the Southwest Quad, had dinners at our house, game nights, or played the Russians in Afghanistan with my sons. It's because of this strong connection that I really struggle with what to say to you all today. How to recognize your achievements, but also to acknowledge the very strange world that you are graduating into. And so I just want to say a word about the past, the present, and your future. The founding of the SFS that we've talked about so much over the last few years was founded in a time of profound confusion and turmoil. The Great War had ended, the world was coming out of a pandemic, and there was so much work to be done. There is still so much work to be done. I know that you all felt the same way that I did, of the strong feeling of interruption this semester, of not being able to celebrate the spring rhythms of being on campus. This transition from life on campus to a life filled with faces on little tiny rectangles has been challenging to say the least. Because what gives us structure on the hilltop is that life is cyclical, life is linear. There's the excitement about being back on campus, the panic of ad drop, the colors of Rangila, the late nights in Lao. There's the panic again of ad drop, the beauty of dip ball, and the gorgeous and sunny Georgetown days. This semester you have learned the first lesson of postgraduate life, which is that nothing follows a set roadmap. There is nothing linear, nothing predictable about the next steps. So how can we stay grounded without these rhythms? How can we find meaning without the continuity of being here, without the continuity of being on campus? We find it in the community that we've built. And the process of building community, it's ongoing. It takes work. It takes a different kind of working now than it did a few months ago. As you step away from campus, you have the opportunity to join and strengthen communities old and new, in your hometown, at new jobs, at grad school, or far afield. But you will always be bound to this community and to each other. The memories that you have made here, the relationships you've created, they are sacred. And St. Ignatius said that memory can teach us who we are, who we're meant to be. So through emails, through calls, through texts, through Zooms, we return to our memories from the hilltop and the relationships that we've built here. And all who work here, all who taught you, all who tested you, all who watched you grow. We believe in you. We remind you what you told us your goals were. We can point out opportunities, and we are always here to listen. In the last several weeks, I have thought a lot about the fact that Hermione Granger and Harry Potter and Ron Weasley, they also did not get to celebrate their final year at Hogwarts. And the community that you have built here at Georgetown cannot be destroyed. Not by Voldemort, and not by a pandemic. Congratulations to you, the class of 2020. You are some of the most important people in my life and some of my best teachers. Boy Saxon.